Hello everyone, my name is Eric Martin Schmidt, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Minno Buckit. Minno Buckit is the home for obsessed entrepreneurs, or minnows if you will. A place where we talk about business models and how to bring ideas to life. We'll analyze markets and market strategies with a particular focus on crowdfunded projects. Our audience is anyone that has an interest in what works and what doesn't in the entrepreneurial world. Minno Buckit wants to educate, entertain, and inspire the individual that is just starting out, in the thick of executing their project, or is already successful, but may be deep in the forest looking for refreshing perspectives. Think of it as a roundup for entrepreneurial innovation, with a specific focus on projects from crowdfunded sites like Kickstarter or Indiegogo and the like. Every episode will look at a few projects to assess their presentation, execution, and possibly predict their likelihood of success. Occasionally, we'll have separate segments on each episode that focus on general marketing subjects. The first project we're going to look at today is this pretty sweet electric bike by Afreda. So a quick Indiegogo note right here, right off the bat. I really wish Indiegogo had some dates here of when the project started. I don't immediately know when this Afreda project started. I can see how many days are left and that they've already crushed their goal, but that's about it. But back to the Afreda electric bike. Let's watch some of their video to see if they get their elevator pitch across in 30 seconds or less.
Afreda, the world's first reverse three-wheel folding electric scooter, the masterpiece of construction artists. It can be folded and spread for just 1 second.
Hi, this is Josh. I'm a structural engineer, but also bike lover. Normally, all bikes will sacrifice the biking experience for its convenience. But I don't think it should be like this, so I designed Afreda.
Its parallelogram axle with suspending front wheels have more than 11 inches amplitude, which makes it far superior than others in terms of shock absorption. With unique reverse three-wheel structure and hydraulic disc brake, Afreda can return powerful grip and perfect balance under any circumstances. It brings you the safest, freest, most pleasurable riding experience for commute or trip. We believe Afreda S6 would be your perfect partner. It's elegant and foldable, just one step, like this. You can take it anywhere, like a suitcase, without taking up too much space. Just enjoy the pleasure of riding with your friends and family. It's your ride to ultimate freedom.
We prepared for 5 years, 5 generations. This is our first time in Indiegogo. I hope you like Afreda, and I believe you can support us to make our dreams come true.
So pretty cool, right? A super compact, powerful, pedalless electric bike. I want one, please and thank you. I should add that we're picking these projects out of the thousands on offer with no real agenda or guidelines, or compensation of any sort from the company. Really just finding projects that tickle our fancy. And hey, it's our first show, right? So we're just starting out on this new project, just like the rest of you fellow innovators out there. Let's look at the Afreda's title. This quote, Afreda S6, a fold-in-one's reverse three-wheel e-bike. I think this title could be improved because it's quite a mouthful. And from watching the video and reading the text, it doesn't appear that English is the entrepreneur's native language. And there are a few instances where this is a little distracting. This quote, a fold-in-one's, is very awkward and doesn't really roll off the tongue. One of our favorite sayings is perfection is the enemy. But things like headlines and pre-written video copy should be given a once-over by a native English speaker and then adjusted if needed. This is all about presentation, and you don't want anyone viewing your campaign to get hung up for any reason, especially one as easily fixable as this. Also, the phrase in the subtitle right here, quote, perfect experience, that's really just wasted characters. That's precious real estate right there, and it's a shame to waste that space with a throwaway line. And I get it, everyone starts at writing their copy at the beginning and to get rolling, but then they don't circle back several more times to tweak and make additional edits. But back to the actual product though, this bike is awesome. They use the phrase, quote, reverse three-wheel. And my brain still doesn't really love that phrase. I know what they think it means, and maybe it's a common industry term, but my brain just thinks about a bike going backwards, like a bicycle going in reverse. They may want to rethink that phrase. I wish everyone in marketing would decide what their absolute best unique selling proposition is and hyper-focus on presenting that as well as possible and as fast as possible. Indiegogo could improve this partly by not formatting this, quote, story section right here to be the default. This is telling the entrepreneur to tell us first about their history. I assume that Indiegogo wants this label to be analogous to Kickstarter's campaign tab, essentially just what the whole project is about, their elevator pitch. The story label compels the campaign creator to dive into their background and how they got there. This has a place, but that place is not within the first 7 seconds of someone looking at the project. I know what an electric bike is. I've owned two and had my current one for over 10 years. Most people know what they are, but really, why is this one different? This point leads straight into the rest of this graphical nonsense that Afreda put, as we say, quote, above the fold. Well, it's pretty close anyway, to being the first thing you see before you start scrolling. This is info that's misplaced and really poorly executed. In fact, their best graphics and selling propositions are way further down the page. This might be a good time to mention, with this being the first episode of Minno Buckit and all, to highlight the intention of this show is not to blatantly criticize for no reason or troll for entertainment. Constructive criticism really is the goal, where we all learn together, but also where we stop making the same mistakes over and over again with regard to how we present ideas and products to investors and customers, fellow global citizens, or anyone consuming our message. In fact, as is the case with this Afreda project right here, we'll usually be looking at and commenting on projects where we feel like they're off to a good start, and we want to help them do even better on this or future campaigns. This Afreda bike looks like a fantastic product that's ready to ship soon, and we really do hope they go on to big things and are a big success. Our second project today is GlassOuse PRO. Let everyone access technology. So what is it? It says it's a customizable wireless device allowing people with disabilities or non-functional hands to operate their phones, tablets, and computers. My first reaction to the text at the top is, again, that is a mouthful. There has to be a shorter, better tagline that rolls off the tongue easier than that sentence. And same quick sidebar again as with Indiegogo. Hey Kickstarter, why don't you want me to see the date when the campaign started? It can be small and right down here. But in my mind, these campaigns are about having a time frame on them, correct? There's a beginning and an ending to these projects. Isn't that kind of the whole hook of these platforms? It either gets funded or it doesn't in the time allotted, where the creators gauge interest from the public if it's a product they want and are willing to pay X amount of money for. I get there's X number of days left, but it seems simple enough to tell me when it started. My brain goes looking for the date the project started every single time to no avail. Maybe they've had extensive meetings about this and decided it's extraneous information. I don't know. What do y'all think? Would you like to see the start date? Digging into the GlassOuse device, let's watch the video to see if they get their elevator pitch across in a timely manner.
Everyone deserves a chance to experience their own life in their own unique way. However, over 1 billion people around the world are experiencing the effects of disability. The first GlassOuse was invented in 2016. For 6 years, GlassOuse has been helping persons with disabled limbs go back to daily life. Over time, we have found that most people with disabilities have their own unique, personalized needs. To help every user to the greatest extent possible, we have developed the brand new GlassOuse PRO. The product was developed with customer participation. We collected user needs based on actual demand and transformed them into product functions. In mouse mode, you can control your mouse by swinging your head. Select the switch mode and then control the smart device by just moving any part of the body. Even if you are alone, you don't have to worry about switching devices. Just using Assistive Switch, you can switch between devices by yourself. If you want to play games, it's no problem. Pro has joystick mode. As for the wireless button problem, we also considered it for the users. The GlassOuse Link is a new product in 2022. Connect G Switch to Link and it becomes a wireless button. Is it over? Not yet. You can customize the functionality of your individual GlassOuse buttons through the app. It can be adjusted to the sensitivity of the X-axis and the Y-axis separately. If you have further need, GlassOuse PRO's modular design offers a solution. It has 6 wearing accessories and 9 different clicks of its G-switches. GlassOuse has long been convinced that everyone is very important and that their needs are equally important. That is our goal, to offer disabled people an adaptable technology that enables them to experience life on their terms. Thank you for your support.
I don't know about you, but I get chills when I see a company that's potentially making a difference like this. How fantastic to assist people with limited mobility to live fuller, more enriching lives. The video is good, but they really could get to the point faster. Editing is crucial to successfully conveying your message at every stage of your presentation. People fall in love with different parts of their messaging, especially when they've worked hard on creating a quality video. But your best bet is to create a fantastic and simple elevator pitch. And if you haven't done a good job in the 30 seconds that is the max of most attention spans, or can we say you haven't kept their attention by the time your audience gets to their floor and the elevator doors open, they're stepping off that elevator and you're never going to hear from them again. This is why being disciplined and pruning it down to the best it can be is so crucial to your success. That whole video message could be conveyed in under 60 seconds. We love this product and wish GlassOuse success, but buried too far down, in my opinion, in the text of the campaign is the background of why the CEO of the company created the first device. This happened when his close friend sustained a severe injury while deep-sea diving that resulted in full body paralysis. He was compelled to create something that would help his friend with everyday life. This is a powerful piece of information that would take 5 seconds to include in the video. I always love to hear of a good reason why an entrepreneur is passionate about their project. In the same vein, could we not have a fantastic image of the CEO with his friend that inspired the project? Granted, there may be specific reasons why that's not feasible, but if there aren't good reasons and it's just something they hadn't thought to include, I'd love to see their faces. This campaign doesn't do a great job of telling me in the graphic meat of the campaign what the product does and why it's superior. There should be 20 drafts of copy behind the scenes trying to accomplish this. So many companies take one pass and then maybe one more time around looking for typos, but that's it. This whole, quote, numbers that matter section is good information, but it dominates the entire first impression. But back up here to the real first impression. This picture of what appears to be the same person we saw in the video and who appears to be a real user of the product, why on earth would you use this picture with the hat covering their eyes when we've already seen them a bunch in the video? This gray background of this image is pretty dull, and there are plenty of other vantage points in the video highlighting the individual interacting and switching between different devices and software, the way that most of us do. And as I understand it, this is a huge part of the purpose of this product. This still image photograph doesn't evoke those benefits at all, and it's the first image you see for this product. But bouncing back to these graphic with these stats, it's interesting info, but I personally don't need it at all, especially this high up in the sales funnel. Also, the language is clunky, which, as we mentioned earlier, is easily fixed by having a native English speaker proofread your text. These numbers are telling me that there are a lot of people in the world with limited mobility. I'd be surprised if many people needed to be educated about that. But in fact, if we're going to take some time to educate here with some sort of graphic, let's pick the most powerful emotional proposition from down below that we can find. Also, this last part of this huge graphic is, quote, "We believe everybody deserves the right to connect with technology and enjoy its use, regardless of their physical limitations." Again, this is a nice sentence, but since you've created this product, I already assumed that this is your position on the situation. Instead, what other quote could we highlight and put here from a real user about how the product, or an earlier iteration of the product, has completely transformed their life? Always remember, make it about the customer, not as much about you, the company. Again, this kind of statement has its place, but not in the limited real estate and limited attention span of the person that's interacting with this page. Minno Buckit is about helping all of us that are communicating via these screens to become better editors and presenters of our information. This is not meant to be nitpicking. It's meant as emotionless, constructive criticism. Scrolling down a little bit, let's go in search of the powerful message that they're missing. There are some amazing images of smiling faces using the product, and you find the line here that says, quote, "The heartwarming feedback has humbled us from thousands of daily users globally, many commenting on how our invention has changed their lives," end quote. What about getting some direct text, or a testimonial, if you will, from one of these customers in the pictures, and communicating that the message was actually created while using your exact product? You could have a picture, or better yet, a video or a GIF saying that this is Jim, for example, and he's a real user of our technology, with a quote from Jim on how this product has changed his life. Underneath that attribution has an additional line that says, "This quote was conveyed to us by Jim using GlassOuse technology." That would be a compelling and powerful part of the presentation. Wrapping up, one more area of improvement for GlassOuse is way down under Kickstarter ambitions. There are these sentences. "Our primary motivation has always been to ensure lifelong impact, enhance people's daily lives, and enrich individuals' access to technology. We're vehemently passionate about getting GlassOuse PRO link to as many people as possible around the globe." This is some of the most clearly written and effective language they have, and it's buried. It could be shorter, and this could be integrated into a graphic that could be much closer to the top. But finally, when you click on, quote, "risks and challenges" down at the bottom that are part of all campaigns, you see that the company, in a bold display of arrogance or stupidity, does not acknowledge any risks or challenges. This is really lazy and overconfident. This is a huge mistake on the part of the company. They state, quote, "GlassOuse is one of the world's leading manufacturers of assistive technology products for more than 6+ years, having thousands of users in more than 60 countries," and completely ignore a very valid question. A refusal to acknowledge a risk or a challenge is a risk and a challenge for this company. Consumers, investors are smart, and they don't want to be sweet-talked. They want honesty in this situation. Finally, a 15-day warranty? Really? In my best Seinfeld voice, really? This is a technological product that is to be used by people with limited access and adaptability. And you picked a 15-day warranty period instead of the standard 30-day warranty we all know and are used to? I would ask, to what advantage? Without a strong argument by the company, of which I cannot imagine what that would be, this creates an unnecessary red flag for an expensive piece of technology. That's it for GlassOuse, and we wish them all the luck with their campaign and reaching their funding goals. As for us, we're only reviewing 2 projects in this, our inaugural episode. We started this vision for this project years ago and have been brainstorming and organizing our thoughts about the format and presentation along the way. It got to a point where we said, hey, we've just got to start and make something. We know it's not perfect, but we can't let that stop us from creating something. We hope you'll like and subscribe and come on this journey with us. We'd love to hear any feedback in the comments. And for all you creative, struggling, overwhelmed minnow entrepreneurs out there, keep pushing. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode.